Well, there we go. I hiked from sunset to sunrise on the North Sea in Netherlands. I think I started around 6:30 in the evening, and it's now sunrise at 8 a.m. Beautiful sunrise, as you can see there, completely gorgeous. It was a long night, I will not lie. My legs and feet and back, everything is tired and sore. I'm gonna find some coffee now somewhere and make the long trip home, and then try to give it a couple of hours of sleep. My body needs a break after this one. It was a challenge, absolutely. It was quite an experience, quite isolation, pitch darkness, sound of waves, really beautiful at the end. This is a really nice finish, nice open clear skies. So happy man, tired but happy. So it's been a couple of hours since I finished. I've had a nap, had some snacks, some coffee, and I'm still trying to process everything of what happened. I knew it would be a physical challenge, and it was. What I didn't expect is how it strips you down to the bare basics. Just footsteps, breath, and silence. I didn't feel strong out there. I just at the end kept going because stopping didn't make sense. So I did my best to prepare for safety as much as I could. I planned the tides to make sure I understood the high and low tides that would be coming in. I worked out different exit plans in case I needed it. A big shout out to Annette. This girl was amazing. She went above and beyond over everything. She of course got my live location so that she can track my every step. And then during the night she literally woke up every hour on the hour to have a check-in where I am, to see my mental state, my physical state, and to see if I'm still going on or not. That was incredible, and she was also ready to come through to pick me up in case I needed to quit. So a big shout out, a big thank you to you, babe. It means a lot to me. There were very few people out there, so I didn't ever really feel unsafe. There were a couple of moments where there was a car out at the beach, and I thought, am I witnessing a murder scene where they're disposing the body? But in the end, I think it was just fishermen putting their lines out in different locations. At those points in the night, you do start thinking weird things. Towards, I think, 3 in the morning, I also walked past a guy, I think he was training his dogs, but it was these big dogs without leashes. And I was like, oh my gosh, if they now chase me, I'm done for, because my legs were tired as well. But yeah, they were well trained, so pretty good. So there were moments where you also, of course, hear different sounds. So yeah, it does freak you out. At that point, you are thinking a lot of things. There were also a lot of points where I started hallucinating, I think, where I'm walking and it's just a tunnel vision of your headlamp, of course, and a pure darkness around you. And you start seeing shapes, of course, on the sand. A lot of times the shapes looks like snakes, it looks like scorpions, all these kind of weird things going through your mind. At the end of the day, it's just like leaves or branches. I did, of course, pass a lot of jellyfish that were there from the previous high tide. So you just have to make sure to avoid them. I mean, I started the day quite excited and nervous. I left to Egmond on Zee after work, so it was a quick 45-minute drive from my place. Got there, got parking, and quite excited. It was a beautiful sunset, even though I thought the weather wouldn't be that great. And I took it all in, so it was quite exciting to see a lot of people on the beach and walking their dogs, doing the sunset walk, so that was great. And then about an hour in, as I started walking, the sun dropped, it got dark, and all the people left. At that point, I was like, what am I doing? Even after all the safety preps, all these kind of things, like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this, going in the middle of the night on my own, with nothing but self-support really. I'm checking in, of course, with Neta, but at the end it's like, what am I doing? So you have that fear just bubbling up inside of you. So yeah, that was a pretty big moment for me to think, okay, I'm just going to keep going and see how it goes. I was going strong until about midnight. I realized a couple of things happening. So my body was okay. It was nice with flat sands because it was low tide, so that was nice, easy walking. Something about the friction and the heat, my feet started blistering a bit. I could feel sort of blisters coming along. So I had to take regular breaks at least every hour and let my feet breathe a bit. But it was also surreal taking these breaks and then just sitting there on the sand in the darkness with the sea in front of you, with the waves breaking, and just taking it in. That was a surreal moments. After a while, it actually became natural. I actually started looking forward to it. So very, very unique experience. But then around between 2 and 3 in the morning, I think that's where I started hitting a wall, and I was actually over it. I was tired. Mentally I was exhausted as well, just pushing through the night, and yeah, those moments I didn't know if I was going to make it. And funny enough, at this point I was still thinking sunrise at 7 o'clock, so I was counting down the hours. Like at 3 in the morning I thought, okay, only 4 hours left. Around 5 a.m. I realized, wait a minute, sunrise is only at 8:15 in the morning, so I had another hour and 15 minutes. So that was quite a breaking point, and I was just sitting there. And at some point around 3 was where I had to take out my secret weapon and start snacking on those crisp balls just to sort of give me a bit of a pick-me-up. About still at that point, about 3 in the morning, that's when I started realizing I'm going slower. Instead of doing 4 kilometers an hour, I dropped down to 3. And yes, my body was tired, but also the tide was starting to come in, so I couldn't walk on the hard sand anymore. I was getting pushed more to the soft sand, and that really started eating my legs. My body really got tired. My knees, my back, my feet, everything got tired at that point. So yeah, that was quite a slog. Firstly, from about 2, 3 in the morning, I could start seeing the lighthouse in the distance. And hour after hour, I just kept on looking at this lighthouse, and it doesn't seem to get any closer. But eventually, after 6 in the morning, I could see it close and could start getting close to towns again, and eventually went off the beach to get into the trail. And yeah, that was a nice sensation to sort of realize the end is near. So about 7, I passed the lighthouse, and at 8 o'clock I was in the Helder, and just this beautiful sunrise. It was such an emotional moment actually. I just sat there on a bench and took it in. So yeah, very thankful for that. My body is a bit broken. My feet are quite sore, quite tender underneath. My knees and my hips and everything are quite tired and sore as well from the sand. It sounds like, yeah, it's just a 42 kilometer walk, like a marathon. But on your feet, being 13 hours on your feet, that takes a toll on the body, especially on the sand as well. So physically, I'm quite tired. Also without any sleep. I went without sleep for about 36 hours in total because I was working as well early in the day. So I got home, had a quick shower, cuddled my dog, and just fell asleep on the couch for a couple of hours, just take a nap. So I'm looking forward to a nice proper nap later as well, proper sleep later as well, just to feel a bit more normal. I think I've learned that you can always go further than you think you can. Multiple times during the night I had those breaking points. Basically the wall, you think, geez, don't know how I'm going to do it. But when you're out there on your own, you just don't really have many choices, right? So you just keep on walking and see how far you can get. I just started taking it hour by hour, and that got me through to the end. So yeah, it's always rewarding to see that you can go further than you think you can. Well, funny moments for me is that I prepared coffee at home, put it in a nice flask and everything. I got to the beach and I thought I actually forgot my flask at home. And then when I got back home, I realized I always had my flask of coffee with me. It was actually in a different pocket. So I carried this heavy flask and coffee with me the whole way. And I was looking forward to a nice coffee throughout the whole evening, and I actually had it with me the whole time. So check all your pockets. Yeah, that was a funny moment. The other funny moments, of course, is like walking on the beach and seeing different shapes, and this is like scaring yourself, weird sounds and weird shapes, and like thinking you're seeing scorpions and snakes, all these kind of things on the beach. So yeah, a bit weird, a bit scary, but yeah, afterwards it's a bit of a ha-ha moment, I guess. Honestly, I don't know. I mean, it was quite an achievement for me. I do feel it quite rewarding to be out there in nature and having to push myself physically and mentally. But it was a long, brutal night. I think I wouldn't have to have a couple of days or weeks to process it and forget about the pain that I'm in right now. I'll definitely, of course, do more hiking challenges, but this through the night is quite brutal. So. Yeah, I mean, I'm always a big believer of pushing your boundaries. Everyone's got different boundaries that they need to push, so you don't necessarily have to do this hike or this challenge. But choose something that's outside of your comfort zone. Be safe, be responsible, of course, but yeah, keep pushing those boundaries. This one specifically, I think the weather worked out great for me. There was a couple of drizzles here and there, but nothing serious, and Netherlands is quite safe in general. So yeah, man, if you're physically capable, I think it is a nice hike to do. You can either do it during the day or during the night, of course. If anyone's interested of how I did it during the night, let me know. I can drop some comments, but also maybe help you plan it. But yeah, I mean, for me, I would probably do it again. Probably do variations of challenges, but definitely keep on doing these challenges where I push the boundaries. I'm definitely going to be embarking more and more of these hiking challenges. I have a couple more in mind, but really, if you guys think there are cool challenges out there that you think I should be doing or interested to see, please drop them in the comments or let me know. I'm really keen to try these challenges and see how far I can push it, basically, while being safe and responsible, of course. So if you have any ideas, any suggestions, please let me know. I'm very interested. Quite excited to embark on this journey. I find this quite rewarding to put a challenge out there, plan for it, and then sort of physically train for it, and also then actually push through it on the day or days if it's multiple day challenge. So yeah, looking forward to the next one. So stay tuned. And like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't, if you want to follow me on these crazy journeys. There's many more to come. I already have a couple of planned. Otherwise, yeah, thanks for watching. This was, like I said, something new, but it's something close to my heart. I love these kind of challenges, and your support means a lot to me. So until next time, keep exploring.